What's up, Chaos Shinobi here. This is what if Naruto becomes godlike with Storm Release. Summary: when trying to save someone close to him he activates his bloodline Storm Release. What will he do with his new power? You know what they say, with great power comes great ass swappings. Godlike Naruto Badass Naruto. Chapter 1. Storm Awakens. It was nighttime in the village hidden in the leaves, and a boy with sun-kissed hair and bright orange clothes was reaching out to his teacher, brother, father figure Iruka Umino. Why? Because a giant shuriken was flying towards him, about to pierce his chest. Iruka-sensei. A bright flash followed by a loud clash sounded off, and next thing everyone sees is Naruto with smoking hands and the ashes of the giant shuriken on the ground in front of Iruka. A moment of silence was in the clearing until it was broken by the blonde, who spoke in a confused tone. Did I do that? He looked toward Iruka to see him with wide eyes looking back at him. And Naruto, why you just shot lighting? Mizuki, in shock at what happened, looked at Naruto with shock. He shook his head and shouted at the blonde. I don't care what you shot, I'm still going to kill you and Iruka, he screamed with rage in his eyes. Naruto, knocked out of shock by Mizuki's outburst, hardened his gaze and responded. For your crimes against the leaf you shall die today. As he says that, he makes a cross sign with his fingers and shouts shadow clone jutsu. Next thing everyone sees is a massive cloud of smoke and 1,000 clones in bright orange with serious faces with arms out. Now die, they all say in unison, sending chills through Mizuki's body. They all shoot lightning blasts out from their hands, and the screams of Mizuki echo through the whole clearing for 5 minutes straight. When Naruto was finally done, there was nothing left of the traitor, not even ashes. Naruto hunches over and pants heavily, then notices Iruka still with wide eyes. Iruka-sensei, are you okay? Do you need me to help you with anything? This finally snaps him out of his daze. Naruto, close your eyes for a second. The blonde responds. I don't know how that will help you, but okay. Okay, you can open your eyes now, Naruto. He did so only to notice Iruka was missing his headband, and he reached to his forehead only to feel metal and soft cloth. He shed a couple tears and gave Iruka a hug. Thank you, Iruka, for everything. You've always been there to help me even when no one else would. You're the only person plus the Ajirakus to know my real self. This causes Iruka to smile warmly. So does that mean you will stop hiding yourself from everyone and step into the dark side? This causes them both to chuckle. A squad of Anbu appear out of nowhere, and an Anbu with a cat mask and purple hair walks forward. Uzumaki-san, Umino-san, the Hokage wishes to speak with you. This causes Iruka to sigh and Naruto to scowl. Next, the Anbu walks up to them and places a hand on their shoulder and shine away. 30. Thank you, Anbu, you can leave us now. Yes, Hokage-sama. With that they all leave, allowing him to focus his attention on the duo in front of him. Naruto-kun, the scroll please. He asks with a kind smile, which pisses Naruto off. Naruto throws the scroll at him aggressively, which causes Anbu to come out and point their weapons at him. We have a lot to talk about, old man. Unbothered by the four Anbu with weapons at him. Yes we do, Naruto-kun, Anbu, leave us. So what do you want to ask first? When did you plan on telling me I had the nine-tailed fox seal inside of me? He says with an angry face, leaking little amounts, killing intent out, but enough for both of the men to know he is serious. Hiruzen Sarutobi was an old man who has seen 2 wars along with the nine-tailed fox, but yet a child of only 12 has made him nervous with just his look that reminded him of another redhead woman who gave him the same look. He could have sworn he saw a ghostly image of her behind the boy, but he shook it off. Naruto-kun, I was going to tell you when you were 16 or a chunin. He responded in a straight tone. This causes Naruto to release a low growl. When I'm 16 or chunin, are you kidding me? I already failed 3 times and I'm 13. You should have told me when I wanted to become a ninja, or maybe even when I asked you why everyone hates me. Don't even tell me this was a secret when the whole village knew about it except me. He screams, releasing even more ki, enough to make the Hokage sweat and Iruka to gasp in shock. Naruto-kun, you have to understand, it was for your own Don't even say safety. The villagers would still break into my house and beat, but no, what do you say? The villagers are just confused and angry right now. Forgive them. No, they didn't forgive me for something I didn't even do, so I will not forgive them, and if they want to try to hurt me again, they will be put down for attacking a ninja off the leaf. Through this declaration his eyes turn red for a moment, enough for only the Hokage to notice and fear that the seal was breaking. You owe me, old man. The old Hokage just sighs sadly and gives in to his demands. Fine, Naruto-kun, what is it you want? I want you to get your act together and start acting like a Hokage and not some helpless old man who gives in to anyone's demands. You run the village, not anyone else. This causes a little fire to come back to the old fire shadow. I also want you to postpone the team selections for a week so I can have time to master my new strange power. It's called a bloodline. You would know that if you were not sleeping in class, Iruka says with a cheeky smile on his face. This causes a tick mark to appear to Naruto's head. Naruto then turns and gives Iruka a foxy smile that unnerves him a bit. Crispy Iruka coming up. Naruto put out his hands and blast Iruka, which cause him to scream out in pain, and bright lights in the Hagik office which makes the old man and Anbu's sweat drop. Now old man, just tell me a secret training ground to train in and I will be back sometime later. Which causes bigger sweat drops to appear. Right, training ground 44, but be careful, it is dangerous and is called the Forest of Death. Don't worry, nothing can stop this ninja from becoming the best. This caused the old man and slightly smoking Iruka to smile. Well, off I go to see this forest, he shouts, jumping out the window in nothing but his orange pants. A tick mark appears on the old man's head. I hope this does not become a habit of his like someone else I know. 30. You know, I think I should have listened to the old man. This place is dangerous. I've already killed a giant bear, 3 tigers, and is that a snake? What Naruto sees is a snake the size of a 2-story house. Without thinking, Naruto runs up a tree to get a better vantage point. And indeed what he sees is a giant brown snake with black diamonds going down its back and yellow eyes that scream bad vibes. But if there is one thing Naruto is a coward, he is not, so he makes a cross sign with his fingers and shouts Shadow Clone Jutsu. A puff of smoke and a clone of Naruto is next to him. Okay buddy, let's send this snake packing. They raise their hands to the sky and let out a mighty roar, and a huge bolt of lightning strikes the snake, causing mass damage and crater 20 feet wide and 3 inches deep destruction. Ha, we showed that snake, didn't we? We sure did, boss. But before they could celebrate too much, a kunai to the clone's head and it puffs in smoke while another slices his cheek, letting some blood fall. Someone appears behind him pressing something soft against his head, pushing his body against the women if he had to guess. Then a voice follows. That was pretty awesome, Gaki, you really did a number on this area and you even beat my snake with 1 strike. I think that deserves a reward, she says in a flirty tone while licking blood off his cheek, which makes him blush, much to the mystery women's amusement. WWW, what are you doing, lady? Let me go. No, that's not how you ask for things, is it? She says in a wistful way. Can you please let me go, miss? He says, still blushing. No, I don't think so. You'll be my little pillow for tonight and you're already undressed. Should I follow your lead? She says, teasing him even more. Wait, I don't even know your name? He says, turning red from the woman. Right, I'm Anko Mitarashi, she says in a cheerful tone. I am Naruto Uzumaki. He says, still blushing, finally wiggling out of her grasp. Finally able to see her, and what he sees makes him blush even more. Anko is an average-sized woman, with light brown pupilless eyes. A young woman who is a slender frame made for speed and dodging while still keeping her womanly charms, which she has a lot of. D-cup breast and a beautiful heart-shaped face, and smile similar to his. Beautiful, Naruto whispers out in shock of what he sees, which causes Anko to blush. Naruto turns around red-faced, embarrassed at himself for saying that out loud. Anko, in shock, a 13-year-old she just met, compliments, gave her a more heartfelt compliment than the village has in years. Oh yeah, my plushie for the night. She walks up behind him and grabs him by the waist and snuggles against his whiskers, which causes him to purr. They both pause and look at each other, eyes wide. Kawaii, you're going to be my little fox plushie for life, she says, pushing his head into her valley. Fox plushie, not surprised she knows about the fox, but plushie for life, I don't mind if I can stay in her. No, I am not a pervert. Naruto jumps out of her arms red-faced with his fist up in a fighting stance. If you want me, you'll have to take me dead. Bring it on, Gaki, you are gonna regret that. They disappear in a comical cloud of smoke, punching, kicking, and biting, and a few lightning bolts. A few seconds later, Anko is standing with a shirtless Naruto over her shoulder with swirls in his eyes, while she has her ponytail frizzled thanks to the lightning bolts. Hagaki will never beat me. Let's get him back to my place so we can cuddle. You know, for a kid who's 13 he has a nice body. I mean, look at his six-pack and lean body. Kukaku, he'll be a lady killer in a few years. Better get him while I can. Chapter 2. Anko's bedroom. Next morning, we find our blonde hero in a position many men of the village would kill for just to even be in for a little nap. Naruto has his head on the chest of Anko Mitarashi with a stupid smile on his face and a hand on her left breast. This was the best sleep I've ever had, and when did I get new pillows? They feel so soft and firm. Let me feel it again. Squeeze. A moan followed. Since when did pillows make noise? Better yet, it sounded like a moan. Naruto-kun, I didn't know you were so grabby so early in the morning. His eyes widened in horror as he remembered the events of last night. He shot up like a man possessed, eyes still wide with a red face. Anko-san, I am sorry, I didn't mean to grab your holy objects you call breast. I mean your soft chest. I mean. He was cut off by the laughter of the woman in bed with nothing but a white tank top that could barely keep her chest hidden and purple panties. Plushie-kun, you don't have to be so formal with me, just call me Anko-chan, okay? Oh okay, he says, still red-faced from her state of dress. Anko-chan, why do you live in this dangerous forest and not in the village like everyone else? He asked with a tilt of his head that reminded her of the fox kid and made her want to put his head in her breast again. Well, that's because I'm just like you in a way. The village also hates me and doesn't accept me, so I've just moved in here and only invite my little friends that I have here. She replies with a sad smile that makes his heart clench, but why? You seem like a nice person to me, although you may be a little crazy and lack clothes. The blonde says, blushing at her body again. Anko can't help but give him a smile at his answer. We just met and I all but kidnapped him and he still says I'm a nice person. Ha. Stupid little gaki, they hate me because of a seal like you, something my old teacher Orochimaru gave me, she said with clear anger. That makes Naruto notice a mark on her shoulder. Is this the mark you were talking about? He says, pointing at it. This makes Anko place a hand over it in defense. Naruto sits next to her on the bed and gives her a smile that warms her heart. Anko-chan, I will help you get rid of it, just let me take a look at it and try to help you. Anko moves her hand to give him a look. And he recognizes it as a seal, but that's all he knows. Anko-chan, I promise that I will get better at seals and beat that snake shit up for you, then I'll unseal it and then you won't have to live with it anymore. He says with raw determination. This caused the pineapple hair woman to smile warmly at our blonde. Well, thank you Gaki, if you do that I'll give you a reward you are sure to remember. This causes Naruto to blush, but he does something bold. Well, I better get to it if I want that reward, Habihaim. He says with a wink that makes Anko blush and surprised at the same time. But she regains her composure and smiles devilishly. Oh Naruto-kun, am I rubbing off on you already? She says, pushing his head in her breast and whispers in his ear. Which makes him shiver in pleasure, fright, and excitement. Hey Anko-chan, I think you are, but I kind of like it, he says smiling at her. That's my plushie, fall onto the dark side with me, she says rubbing against his cheek. They both have a good laugh at that. Okay Anko-chan, let's get up and eat and then you can train me, he says, getting up only to blush at his state of dress. Where are my pants and why am I still shirtless? Anko can only sweat drop. He just now notices that? What a baka. Anko thinks with a sweat drop. Your clothes are being washed and why would I train you? Well, you are pretty strong, I can sense it, and I want to learn under the great snake lady of the forest. Actually it's the sexy and single Anko Mitarashi, she says with her hands in the air and a grin on her face. Oh, I see. Should I come up with a cool intro as well? That way everyone can know how cool I am. Yes, you should. It's something we will work on while I train you, she says, nodding her head like a great sage would. So that means you will train me, Anko-chan, that's so cool, he says, giving her a big smile and a hug. Oh Naruto-kun, you can't keep your hands off me, can you? She says in a teasing tone. Naruto blushes and hides in her breast, causing her to laugh at him. We find the dynamic duo out in the forest of death getting ready to train till the sun goes down. Okay, we will train until you go back to the academy for your team selection and then your sensei will help you with the rest, she says, a little sad but trying to hide it with her smile, but Naruto picked up on it and saved it for later. Okay Anko-sensei, he says, finally in clothes but not his. He is wearing black jogging pants with black ninja sandals and a white tank top and a tan trench coat just like Anko, much to her happiness. Okay plushie, make 10 clones and send them to the library under Henge and have them focus on seduction, stealth, combat, and torture. Another 10 to climb trees and have them practice tree walking. I saw you did it yesterday, but that was because you were under pressure. I want it perfect. How do you know the secret to the shadow clones? It was in the scroll of sealing. A bastard Orochimaru maybe, but a good teacher he was, she says with reluctancy. Now me and you will spar until one of those clones brings back a scroll for taijutsu you may like. Okay Anko-sensei, shadow clone jutsu. A puff of smoke and 20 clones were in the clearing. You heard the lady, let's get to it, he shouts at copies of himself. Yes boss. And off the clones were. What now Anko-sensei? He turns to her with a raised eyebrow. Now you and I will fight, she says, releasing Jonin levels of ki at him, which makes him sweat a lot. Why are you releasing that much ki at me? It's to let you know I'm serious and get you used to this, because when you fight with other ninjas they are going to release much more because they will be coming to kill you. He shakes his head and hardens his gaze, getting ready to train seriously. Okay Anko-sensei, I am ready to get this started, he says with cold blue eyes and electrified voice, which gives Anko shivers of what she has no idea. Without wasting any time they charge at each other. Naruto throws a straight punch that Anko dodges easily and hits him in the ribs hard, making him wince. But that does not stop him. He turns, aiming a hook to her left side, but she ducks down and rises up and gives him an uppercut, sending him in the air, and she jumps after him and gives him a falling dropkick which he barely evades. Wow Anko-sensei, that hurts and you're really fast. I can barely see you, he says with a busted lip and dirt on his face and clothes. Anko gives him a foxy smile and says, well, I am a special Jonin and I didn't get here just because of how good I look, she replies with pride in her voice. But I am not even going all out on you, should be able to get by with me at this speed, she says, falling in her heavy style, and Naruto drops into a style with his left hand to his nose and right hand hovering over his stomach and legs spread. Then Naruto charges at her with the speed of that of a high chunin and hits that sting a little to her skin. He comes in with a right leg kick, but she blocks and swings him over to a tree, but he flips in midair and bounce off the tree back at her with a cocked back right fist. They clash into a small shockwave that blows their hair and ruffles the leaves on the trees a bit. "Not bad, Gaki, you put some strength behind that one," Anko replies with a grin. One that Naruto matches. "Well, these muscles came from somewhere, I did a lot of physical activity in my free time." He replies with that smirk that looks like a fox, but little does he know a giant red eye with a black slit is watching behind a cage. After the clash, the two jump back and run at each other again. Anko throws a left punch and Naruto blocks with his right elbow, only to have to block a right hook with his left elbow. He throws a high right kick, but she blocks and they both jump back to gain space, only to run at each other again and clash punches, but it is broken by a clone of Naruto who swings at Anko, but she dodges to the left and throws a left kick and dispels it. Only for the real Naruto to fly in with a hammer fist to knock her down, but she sidesteps and throws a barrage of kicks that all at Naruto and leave him on the ground gasping. "Not bad, Naruto-kun, but dodge these." Hidden shadow snake hands. A bunch of snakes come out of her sleeves and aim at Naruto with fangs showing. He quickly jumps up and shots a blast of lightning from his hands and it zaps the snakes away, but he was too slow to react to Anko behind him, who hits him to the ground. "Man, this is going to be a long day," he says with a grin on his bloody face. It's midday and we can see Naruto laying on the ground without a shirt thanks to his sadistic teacher who burned his trench coat and white tank top off with a fireball jutsu. Trees on the ground thanks to the giant snakes that chased him around, with Anko laughing on top of it, throwing snakes and kunai at him, and even threw her wet panties at him that landed on his face. She apparently got off to making him suffer. Anko even kicked him through a couple of trees that broke a couple of bones. Anko-sensei, I can't move. I think I broke my legs when I fell out of that tree because those snakes tried to bite me," Naruto says in a hurting tone. Don't worry, Naruto-kun, I'll carry you to my favorite place so we can eat," she says, throwing him over her shoulder much to his irritation. "So are we going to get the food of the gods?" he says happily. "Yup," Anko says, in a cheery tone. "Ramen, dango." "Naruto-kun, you did not just say that, did you?" she says in a sweet tone, with a ghostly giant snake appearing behind her with its fangs out, causing Naruto to make his own inner beast to appear in the form of a giant red fox to appear with its teeth showing. This is the scene one Kurenai Yuhi shows up to see, causing her to sweat nervously. Kurenai is a close friend of Anko and also has the nickname of Konoha's Ice Queen. She is a fair-skinned woman of a slender build. She has long black hair, untamed hair reaching her upper back, with unique ruby red eyes with rings in them that look like tomoe. She wears makeup consisting of red lipstick and purple eyeshadow. She wears what looks like bandages over a mesh shirt to cover up her D-cup breast and one red sleeve made for distracting enemies. "Anko-chan." This shout knocks the two out of their trance. "Oh, hello, Nai-chan," Anko says with a happy smile. "What are you doing with the shirtless kid in the forest of death?" she says, looking at Naruto, who gives her a foxy smile. "Oh, don't mind us, Nai-chan, me and Anko were just getting hot and sweaty," he says to Kurenai, who raises her eyebrow at his way of talking to her. Until what he says clicks in and she gives him a glare and releases ki on him. "What do you mean getting hot and sweaty, you pervert?" But to her surprise the ki does nothing to him and he looks over to a blushing Anko. "Anko-chan, tell her," he says, still grinning. "Don't say it like that, you baka," Anko says with a light dust of pink on her cheeks and smacks him upside the head because he's still over her shoulder. "Anyways, we were about to go eat dango, the food of the gods." Sends a glare at Naruto telling him to be quiet. "Do you want to come with us, Nai-chan?" This causes Naruto to make a lighting whip he learned how to make while running for his life from the giant snakes and smacks Anko's butt with it, which makes her eep and blush, then send a glare at him. Yes, but Anko, why does this kid who is only 13 have a lighting affinity so strong?" "I don't know. Hey, let's test it with chakra paper. Do you have any?" Anko asked Giddy. "Yes, I do. I picked some up for my future Genin team, but I guess I can spare one," she says, sweat dropping at her friend's antics. With that said, she pulls one out and hands it over to Anko, who snatches it away, making a tick mark appear on the woman's head. "Okay, Naruto-kun, just channel your chakra into this and we will see what happens after that," she says, putting him down off her shoulder. "Naruto-kun, these two seem pretty close after they just met. Well, not surprised, they are so similar. It's like they were made for each other." "Okay, Anko-sensei." With that said, he did just that and it shocks everyone at what they see. The paper split into 100 pieces, which then crumbled up into small balls, and then they all turned to water, which formed a large puddle at their feet. Is that supposed to happen?" Naruto asked, uncertain. "We have to go show the Hokage that a reaction like this can only mean a bloodline, said Kurenai with wide eyes. With that said, they all body flicker to the Hokage office. Old man, guess who's back? Naruto said, appearing with two companions in a body flicker. Show some respect, you perverted brat. Kurenai hits him over the head, which makes a huge bump appear over his head. What's your problem, Nai-chan? Why are you so uptight? You need to get laid. He yells at her. A tick mark appears on her head with a face red from anger or embarrassment. You little brat, she says, and proceeds to beat the already injured Naruto black and blue. Huff, what does he know about getting laid, little pervert? Everyone's sweat drops at the scene. Cough. Hokage-sama, we have important news to share with you, the snickering Anko says. What would that be? Anko the laughing Hokage says. We believe Naruto-kun has a bloodline, Anko says, getting a little bit more serious. Oh, you mean his storm release? Yes, we saw this yesterday, but we did not have any chakra paper, so I just guessed what it was and I must be correct. Yes, Hokage-sama, we tested his affinity and the paper was cut in 100 pieces, formed into small balls and then formed a large puddle, Kurenai said with surprise, still in her tone. Wow, his water affinity is stronger than that of Tobirama-sensei. Hee Naruto-kun, you're truly amazing. Maybe I should give him his parents' scrolls and he can learn his mother's water jutsu and kenjutsu style along with his father's winjutsu. Naruto-kun, you have the bloodline storm release. It is a very powerful bloodline that with enough control you can cause mass storms. It is a combination of water and lighting nature chakra to make storm release. I got you, old man, I've already got a good handle on it, see? He says and makes a lightning whip and throws it at the bookcase and grabs a root onbu. Faster than Naruto can see, the old Hokage flashes to the onbu and jams a kunai in the onbu face mask, causing the body to slump over in Naruto's lighting whip, and the body caught fire. That Danzo, I swear I'm going to kill him. Like Naruto-kun said, I need to get my act together, and Naruto must be a censor. Naruto-kun, can you use water chakra to put this fire out? The Hokage asks in a firm tone not matching his age. I don't know how to use water yet, the blonde says sadly. Just picture your chakra flowing like water and pushing through everything like a rampaging storm, the Hokage says while making a sign for his onbu to go. Okay, old man. Naruto then closes his eyes to focus. Then to everyone's shock, water starts to form around him and quickly drops on the burning onbu and soaks the body and everyone else. Ha, I did it, thanks old man. Naruto pumps his fist up, unaware of the angry ruby-eyed woman approaching him from behind. Naruto-kun, would you please come here and let me talk to you? She says in a voice too sweet for his liking. Everyone see the death god appear behind her laughing. See you, old man, I have to run for my life, Naruto says, jumping out the window. But not before making a lighting whip and smacking the snake mistress on her ass, sending an electric shock up her body, causing her to run behind Kurenai with an angry face. Uzumaki, you get your ass back here. The two women scream with all their womanly fury. Chapter 3. Team Selections. Day of Team Placements. We can find Naruto doing something that has become one of his new favorite things to pass the time when there is nothing to do or his Nai-chan isn't there for him to tease her. Instead, he is running his fingers through the tails of one nine-tailed vixen named Kasumi, who is purring happily while laying across his bed in her Hanyo form, since Naruto told her it would be okay to show what she really looks like in the comfort of his run-down apartment. He can't help but laugh at how they meet. Flashback. Anko-chan, I think I've drunk enough. Haven't we celebrated enough over my new discovery? He speaks with red cheeks due to the alcohol or the way Anko has her breast on his head. Jigaki, you lightweight, hawk and hold your lick. She was cut off when she passed out due to how much drinking she had did that night, and Naruto had to carry the drunk Anko home, getting weird looks from the villagers. When they got to her house, he put her in the bed, but as he tried to get away, she pulled him down into his favorite place to rest. I was gonna go home and work off this drunken state, but this is fine. Mindscape. Why am I in a sewer and why am I still drunk? I can't even stand straight. Damn, Anko-chan, we need to bring Kurenai-chan with us next time. She is the responsible one. Well, let's go explore. He then runs off without a care in the world. After a few minutes of just stumbling around, he finds himself in front of a cage, and because of the state he is in, logic goes out the window and he just runs up to it but trips and falls on his face, dogging a giant claw, but he doesn't seem to notice. Stupid Ningen can even run straight. I'm amazed you got so strong with that stupid bloodline of yours. A voice in the darkness says, Hey! Who you calling a stupid Ningen? You must not know who I am. I am the pie-eating, trailblazing, eyebrow-raising, jabroni-beating, heart-stopping, elbow-dropping Naruto Uzumaki. A moment of silence followed. No one even moved, but Naruto still had that grin on his face. Ha 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 ha, that was actually pretty good. You are a very entertaining Ningen. Ha hey, yay, I just came up with that. Now I wonder if Anko-chan will like it. He says with a hand behind his head and a grin that could split his face. But now that I'm not so drunk, I can only assume you are the QB and this is inside the seal and this is a representation of my mind, Naruto says with a serious gaze, looking into the darkness. A giant red eye with a black slit appears followed by giant teeth and a grinning face makes Naruto match its grin. Maybe I was wrong and you are not a stupid ningen. Are you a boy or girl? The question came from the blonde who had a questioning gaze aimed at the fox. Really? That is the first thing you decide to ask me. It just makes talking to you a lot easier and not calling you an it. The QB eyes him for a second deciding if it should reveal such information to the Bakuningen. I am a woman that you have never seen before, said the now female fox with pride in her tone. Oh my ramen gods up above, the strongest Baiju is a woman and a prideful one at that. Oh man, wait until Kurenai-chan hears that she is gonna be happy for the rest of her life. What, you have a problem with that ningen? The vixen says, releasing some ki on him that makes him nervous. And no, I think that is really good for all the females in the world who are put down because of sexist men, and you have really nice fur, it makes me want to just lay in it all day. Are really, why you think so? The QB says in a more softer female voice. Yes I do, you could be a pillar of strength for all the women of the world. All you would need is a more human appearance and be a little nicer and you might just become a role model similar to Tsunade Senju. Well, I do have a Hanyo form if you would like to see it, but you would have to do something for me. What would that be? Naruto says with a raised eyebrow. You need to change this place up a bit and give me messages anytime I ask for them. She says in a tone of arrogance as if talking to someone lower than her. That seems reasonable. I could imagine being in a sewer 24/7 would suck. He then closes his eyes so that he can focus on changing his mindscape, and little by little the place gains light. The water is replaced with grass, the walls become huge trees, and the sound of following water could be heard as a river along with a small waterfall can be seen coming out of the ground. Now tell me this isn't awesome. The blonde says, pumping a fist in the air. The QB is speechless as to what has just happened. She was not expecting the little human to do such a good job on his first try. But then she stops and looks for the seal and sees it on a rock under a tree. Thank you Naruto, and now as promised prepare to be amazed by my beauty. In a flash of light the giant fox can be seen getting smaller until a human form is seen, then and there Naruto sees a sight he will never forget. Standing there is a woman with orange hair with red fox ears on top of her head, hair that goes down to the middle of her back followed by the 9 orange fox tails. She still has those blood red eyes with fox slits and now red lipstick and a narrow jawline. DD cup breast and an hourglass figure that makes men's heads turn and plump thighs that make the world go round. Next thing that happens is Naruto is blown back to the seal and hits it and cracks it. Upon seeing this, QB fears the worst because her chakra starts leaking to Naruto a bit but suddenly stops when Naruto sees this and fixes the rock by imaging it the way it used to be. Now that could have been bad, ha ha ha. The laughing blonde catches something flying towards his head and it's soft. He then starts to rub his face and it only to stop when he hears a moan come from the QB. QB-san, he is cut off when she raises a hand to stop him. Kasumi is my name, Jay, just don't stop rubbing my tails. Okay Jay, just put some clothes on, you're naked. The blushing blonde says. She then puts on a red kimono with little red foxes on it. The kimono is open showing some cleavage. It only reaches to her thighs and stops showing her long legs. She wears red ankle socks to finish the outfit. Happy now? She says with a red face cause Naruto has started brushing her tails. This is gonna be a great friendship, Kasumi-chan. The grinning blonde says that makes the redhead blush a little. Baka. And flashback. Wake up Kasumi-chan, I have team placements today and I don't want to be late. The blonde says, whispering in her fox ears, giving them a little pat. Naruto-kun, why do you have to strike them with your new storm release jutsu that leveled the forest clearing? She says, pouting. Kasumi-chan, I did that jutsu and the whole village was in a thunderstorm for the rest of the day and then I had to tell the old man what I did. He says with a sweet drop. Look, just become a little fox and I can take you with me when I fly there. He says with a smirk, knowing how much her and uncle like that. She transforms into the size of an Inuzuka pup and instantly grins up at Naruto, who is also grinning. You know, I still find it hard to believe I can fly using wind release, man. I love those shadow clones. We really flew all over the village that day, ha ha ha. Yay, just get dressed and let's go flying. Yip, the happy fox. Okay Jez, you can be really impatient sometimes. A smack upside his head by a tail and he's up and moving. Naruto can be seen wearing black Hanbo style sandals so he can stay light on his feet. A black t-shirt with the kanji storm over his seal and a tan trench coat like Hanko she got him as a gift for buying her dango. His headband tied on his forehead along with a sheath katana on his waist hidden by the coat. He picked up because his clone found a style called Moonlight Sword style. The style uses brute force or flexibility when needed, but it is not really used because masters of the sword have a bloody life ahead of them. But a little blood never stopped Naruto from getting what he wanted. The sword is about 2 feet long, the handle is black and the guard is in the shape of a yin-yang symbol while the blade is silver, made for cutting through the flesh of enemies. Okay, I'm ready to go, Kasumi-chan, hop on. She then climbs onto the top of his head and walks to his window and jumps out and takes flight to the academy. Along the way the people of the red light district wave to him and give him nice smiles and the women call out to him, "Naruto-sama, when will you come give us a visit?" A horde of women from the brothels come to ask him the same thing. He gives them a sexy smirk that shows his longer fangs that makes them all swoon. "I'm telling you Kasumi-chan, it's like they don't know I'm only 13. Well, you look like a 15-year-old with all the physical training you've been doing for years, and not to mention you're always giving the people of this area high-quality goods you steal from the nobles, and stop doing that, you are gonna get in real trouble," she says while smacking his head with her paws. "Aw, I didn't know you cared so much about me Kasumi-chan. Am I not just a Bakuningan anymore?" he says with a knowing look. Luckily her fur can hide her blush because her face was burning red. Bakuningan don't ever think about something like that again. Once he exited the red light district, it's back to the glares of hatred while the kids look in awe at the flying boy and fox. "It's crazy how the people who are considered the outcast of the village treat me better than this." Well, that's because they can kinda understand what you are going through, and you've also helped these people a lot and they respect you for that, she says a little sadly, feeling guilty. Naruto then turns and is now flying with his back to the ground and Kasumi on his stomach. "Hey, I told you not to think that. None of this is your fault, so stop blaming yourself," he says in a soft tone while rubbing her head. Kasumi then gives him a smile, or as much as a fox could give with those sharp teeth. "Thank you Naruto-kun," she says, feeling better. "Now what do you say? We make an epic entrance Anko style," he says, giving her a foxy grin. She yips happily. Next thing the villagers see Naruto become covered in blue lighting and disappear in a bolt academy. In one classroom we can see a bunch of kids talking and laughing, all excited or nervous for the test about to happen today. The civilian children sit at the bottom while the clan-heir are at the top of the class. We can see a black-haired boy with the hair of a duck but by the window with girls giving him eyes with hearts while he ignores them. This is Sasuke Uchiha, the last loyal Uchiha of the Leaf. Above him we can see a boy with red fang markings on his face. This is Kiba Inuzuka with his best friend Akamaru on his head. Next to him we can see a boy in a green overcoat with sunglasses and a small humming coming from him. His name is Shino Aburame. To the left of them we can see a boy with spiky black hair that looks like a ponytail and a lazy face. This is Shikamaru Nara. Next to him is a fat boy with swirls on his face. His name is Choji Akimichi. In the top row we can see a girl with midnight blue hair and lavender eyes. This is Hinata Hyuga. She is looking around like she is trying to find someone. It is a known fact in the class that she has a massive crush on one Naruto Uzumaki, but he does not know. "Naruto-kun, I hope that you passed." A rumbling can be heard coming to that class and everyone covers their ears and sits down because they know what is gonna happen. "Ha, you know pig, I win first, I get to sit next to my Sasuke-kun," said a girl with bright pink hair and a big forehead. "This is Sakura Haruno." "No you didn't, can't you see I'm in front of you, forehead girl?" says a girl with platinum blonde hair and pupils sky blue eyes. They rush up to the duck-haired boy to sit next to him and then start to fight over who sits next to him. They are forced to stop when the outside gets dark and they can see the clouds darken and lightning start to strike down and thunder boom across the sky. Everyone all over the village looks up to see what is going on, and the people of the red light district start to cheer loud, and the Hokage can only rub his head and smoke his pipe at seeing what is going on. Back in the classroom everyone is looking outside when they see a lightning bolt come flying at their school. All the kids scream and hide under the desk until it makes contact. The windows break and something has landed in the class. The kids peek from under the desk to see what is going on, and what they see, all the girls blush and the boys look in awe. "Hello my future comrades, I Naruto Uzumaki have come." Hinata with a red face looking in awe and a bloody nose, along with most of the girls, even Sakura and Ino, can't help but blush. The boys are jealous and Sasuke is green with envy along with the furious Kiba. "And Naruto, is that you?" asked the hesitant Ino with a red face at how handsome Naruto looks. Naruto gives her a charming smile and walks real close to her, making her even redder. "Yes, it is Ino-chan, do you like what you see?" he says, kissing her hand. This causes her to faint along with Hinata. One girl is not buying it though. "Naruto baka, don't do that again." She runs to him with her fist cocked ready to punch him, only to be shocked when he grabs her fist and backhands her and gives her a cold glare. "Don't do that again," he says in a cold tone amplified by the growling fox on his shoulder. He then walks up to sit down next to the passed out Hinata and picks her up and sits her in his lap, much to everyone's shock. But this makes one mood angry. "What do you think you are doing with my mate?" yelled the angry Kiba, who is charging him, only to stop when he is shot with a water bullet to the face by the blonde, who gives him an icy gaze. "Sit down." He adds some key to get his point across. Everyone is shocked at this display, even the Jounin watching. Hokage office. Everyone in the office was slack-jawed at what just happened in such a short amount of time. Hokage-sama, this is real and not a joke, is it? Said a bearded man named Asuma who looks like a young Hiruzen. A one-eyed cyclops with silver hair has a wide eye and an orange book on the floor. Kakashi, did you see that? Says Asuma with shock. Hokage-sama, if I am correct, that is the storm release bloodline from Kumo. How does he have that? Asked Kakashi because he saw it in the last war. Indeed, he unlocked during the scroll incident and has been training with it in the Forest of Death for the past week, but I didn't think he would progress so fast. But he does know the Shadow Clone Jutsu secret. Some I'm guessing that how, said the old Hokage, much to the shock of everyone. Yup, that's my Gaki right, Nai-chan. Anko says, pulling Kurenai in a hug. Anko, Kurenai, you know this kid? Asked Asuma with shock. Yes, we do know him, but I wish I didn't because he's a little pervert. Kurenai says with a little bit of red on her face, remembering some of the things Naruto has done to her. How do you know him? Asked Kakashi, wanting information. Well, he came to the Forest of Death and started fighting animals and training his new power. Long story short, I sent a giant snake after him and he killed it with one shot in half an area. Everyone was shocked at the fact Ajanan beat Anko's snake. And how do you know him, Kurenai? Asked Asuma because he saw her red face and has a crush on her and wants to know if this Gaki is a threat to his women. Well, I ran into him and Anko fighting in the forest and then I beat him black and blue for being a pervert. She says with a smirk on her face at the end of her statement. The whole room sweet drop at her answer. She was just upset that he got her all wet. All the males get the wrong idea and have nosebleeds. Shut up, Anko, or no dengo for a month. She say, red-faced. Come on, don't be like that, I'll let you cuddle with him if you want. Anko says, giving her puppy dog eyes. Why would I want to do that with him? I swear you both are perverts. She says, blushing at the idea. Can we just get back to the class? Said Kakashi, wanting to know more about his sensei's son. Classroom. Iruka walks in to see a classroom completely silent and wide-eyed. He can see a shaking Kiba and Akamaru. Ino and the rest of the girls are blushing, looking at Naruto brushing the hair of a sleeping Hinata in the lap of Naruto. The girls are sending the smiling Hinata herd glares and the boys are the same to Naruto. Oh, K-class, let's get to what we all came for, which is your team. This snaps everyone out of their gaze. Teams 1. Naruto tunes him out and continues to stroke both Hinata and Kasumi, making the fox wag its tail back and forth. Team 7 will be Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and a random civilian ninja who isn't worth anything. Your sensei is Kakashi Hatake. Sakura sits next to Sasuke and the civilian ninja comes to sit next to them, but Sakura punches him away. Team 8 will be Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Abarame and your sensei is Kurenai Yuhi. Naruto shakes Hinata up. And Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, looking confused at where she is sitting. Hello Hinata-chan, did you have a good sleep? He spoke huskily in her ear, making her shiver. She then notices where she is and jumps up with a red face and sits back in her seat, rubbing her fingers and legs together, then passes out with a nosebleed. Hokage office. That little pervert, when I get my hands on him I'm gonna wring his neck, yelled the enraged Jonin, being held back by Anko. Now are you just upset he didn't do it to you? Anko says, teasing her. Anko, class. Team 10 will be Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, and Choju Aokimichi and your sensei will be Asuma Sartabai. Said the ready-to-leave Iruka. Iruka-sensei, what about my team? Asked the whiskered blonde. Ha, dead last, you don't get a team, loser, shouted the Inuzuka. Before anyone could react, Naruto kicked him in the face. Now the next person who calls me that will get the same thing. Silence. Iruka-sensei, you can get back to it. He says, going back to his seat. Iruka sweat dropped. Yay, your team is, but before he could continue he is interrupted when a brown blur hits him. It is revealed to be Anko Mitarashi. Plushie-kun, I am your sensei, but you better run to our training ground, you have an angry Nai-chan after you. At that moment the other sensei came into the room. And like she said, Kurenai is sending massive ki, and Naruto, who is just sending there with a charming smile that melts her anger away. Hello Kurenai-chan, you are looking as beautiful as ever I see. He says, walking up to her, grabbing her hand and kissing it. This makes her blush and turn her head to keep him from looking. He then grabs her by the waist and pulls her to him, and he is looking in her eyes deeply because he is standing at 5 feet 6 inches to her 5 feet 5 inches of height. This makes her blush even more. Don't be mad at me, I promise I can make it up to you. He says in her ear, giving her earlobe a bite, making her knees a little weak. Anko pushes them apart, blushing at the show, while Kurenai's whole face is red and the males are wide. Let's go to Naruto-kun, we have things to do. She then disappears but not before Naruto smacks Kurenai on the ass, making her jump and blush more. Forest of Death. Okay Naruto-kun, what you have to do is find me somewhere in this forest and then you pass and I give you a good reward. She says, giving him a sexy smirk, and Naruto returns it. Well Anko-sensei, you can consider this as pass. I'm gonna find you, he says with a confident smirk. Well, if you are so sure, come and get me. She disappears in a puff of smoke. Kasumi-chan, you got her smell right. He looks to the fox wrapped around his neck like a scarf. She wags her tail in front of his face. I will get it, but what do I get if I do this? She said, smirking. Oh well, I guess I could rub that spot that you can't get yourself and apply that oil on your. She cuts him off with a smack from her tail. DD, don't speak anymore Bakaningan, she says, blushing under her fur. He can only chuckle and shoot in a bolt of lighting after his sexy sensei. Somewhere in the forest, Anko can be seen riding on a giant snake running from her handsome student. That Gaki's fast and probably has that fox on my scent trail. As if on perfect time, lightning strikes, wind blades, and water blades are coming out of the sky and are closing in on her and the snake. She replaces herself with a log just in time to avoid being struck by all that. My god, he can use all three of his elements. Why did I agree to this? Anko thinks to herself, crying anime tears. Well, as long as he doesn't use his storm release I should be able to win. As if being cursed by the gods, she sees Naruto and three clones going through hand signs. Storm release circuit. Naruto shouts and multiple light blue rays of lightning rush in Anko, who can 18 light beams coming at her. She ducks, spins, jumps and dodges but still gets hit in the shoulder, left leg and right arm. Damn, it disrupted my nervous system and now I can even feel where he hit me. She then turns and launches a volley of shuriken and appears behind Naruto with a heel drop, but Naruto makes arms out of lighting to grab Anko and he blocks Anko shuriken with his own kunai. Got you Anko-sensei, Naruto says, only to be surprised when the Anko turns into mud. Not surprised she isn't a special jounin for nothing. Naruto thinks to himself. A little ways away, Anko is limping in the cover of trees and bushes while trying to wrap her leg in bangas so she can recover. Got to be quick before Her thoughts were cut off when she hears the sound of rushing water. Found you. The statement came from Naruto on top of a raging wave. Water-style water shockwave. Naruto shouts with a wide grin on his face. Someone help me. Those were the last thoughts she had before the waves hit her and was tossed around until she passed out. You think we went overboard, Kasumi-chan? Naruto asked as he walks to the Anko, who is soaked in water. Nah, she did have those snakes almost eat you, responded Kasumi. Yay, you're right, let's bring her to the hospital so we can get that reward, he says, smirking. You pervert, Kasumi says. Chapter 4. Hospital. Anko-chan, I said I was sorry, can you please send you snakes away? You are not even supposed to be moving, Naruto replied, wrapped up in snakes to the neck. No, you got me all wet and not the good kind. You even messed up my favorite trench coat with your Steed storm release circuit. The bandaged cover, Anko says, waving her hand childishly. Anko-chan, if you release your snakes I'll take you out on a date to anywhere you like. In an instant all the snakes puff away in smoke and Anko can be seen smiling brightly. You promise, Naruto-kun? It's a promise of a lifetime, he says, giving her a thumbs up. Well, tomorrow when I get out of the hospital at 8 p.m. I would like to go somewhere in the red light district where they all worship you, even the Yakuza, she says with a bright smile still on her face. Well, do you have a specific place in mind that you would like to go? He asked her with a raised eyebrow. Well, can you get us into the Raging Fox? It's a new restaurant that just opened up. Speaking of Fox, where is that fox you had during the test? She says, looking around for it. Oh, her name is Kasumi and she is back at my apartment probably sleeping, he says with a laugh. Naruto apartment. We can see Kasumi in nothing but one of Naruto's big shirts and red socks sliding across the place, singing with a makeshift microphone in her hand. He licked me like a lollipop. He licked me like a lollipop. He licked me like a lollipop. Shawty want a thug. I don't own the song, Lil Wayne does. Back to hospital. Yay, she can be really Lizzy sometimes, he said with a laugh. But don't worry about that, Anko-chan, I'll go set everything up and get some more training in. Oh, you also have to go to the Hokage meeting later, so remember that. He then gets up and kisses her on the forehead, getting a little blush from her. Then he goes to the window and flies off. Anko can only sigh at her situation. Man, I really think I am starting to fall in love with Plushie-kun. That makes her blush, but then she remembers the Hokage meeting. I am going to lose so much face at that place when I tell them how he beat me, she says, crying anime tears. Streets of Konoha. Naruto has just landed from his flight and starts walking to the red light district, getting the usual looks of hatred from the older adults, while some ninjas give him nods of respect while the kids still stare at him in awe because he can fly, while the girls eye him like a piece of meat. A ball bounces in front of his path and 5 kids come to get it. Hello kids, did you lose this? He says kindly. The kids recognize him and all get stars in their eyes. A brown-haired girl walks up to him and asks, "Hey, you're the guy who can fly, can you take us flying please?" She says, giving him the puppy dog eyes and quivering lips. Oh man, even the kids know this jutsu must look away, but I can't. He then drops his head in defeat. Fine, but you need to ask your parents first. He tells them. They run off to their parents and ask, "Ka-chan, can we go flying with that guy please?" The parents look at Naruto with hatred but decide to let it happen for their kids' sake. Fine, but nothing better happen to our kids or you are gonna get it. Naruto only rolls his eyes at their weak key. Nothing will happen to your kids. I am a professional, he says with a grin. The kids run to him with bright smiles. Shadow clone jutsu. The blonde proclaimed. 4 shadow clones appear and pick the kids up on his back, and then he blasts off in the air, and the only thing that can be heard are the laughing kids. This leaves everyone looking at the blonde in a new way. They think they might have been wrong to him. It's sunset and Naruto can be seen in the red light district going to the Raging Fox getting reservations for him and Anko. "And Naruto-sama, what can we do for you here?" one of the waiters asked, bowing along with everyone else. "I would like a reservation tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for me and Anko Mitarashi. Will that be okay?" he asked, smiling at the respect he gets from the people. "Oh, of course, Naruto-sama will be all you need today." "Yes it is," he says and then walks away. Alright, time to get some training done. He then sees 2 people in green spandex with bowls, haircuts and bushy eyebrows. Well, these guys look like they need another partner. Without further ado, he ran up next to them. "Hello, our youthful friend, how can we help you today?" The older one asks. "Do you wish to bask in the springtime of youth with us?" The younger one asks while they are all still running. "What is youth and springtime?" Naruto asked, confused only to be surprised when they both stopped and looked at him in horror. "Leave this an emergency, we must help our fellow comrade understand the joys of youth." "Yes, Guy-sensei." The now named Lee says with fire in his eyes. "The springtime of youth is when you train to better yourself in any way possible. You put in the effort to accomplish any goal by blood, sweat and tears. It's about drive, it's about power, put in the work and put in the hours." Might Guy says with Lee writing it all down in a notepad. Naruto then looks in understanding. "Well, can I join you on your youthful training? I want to really feel the burn today." The 2 look in shock before it turns to excitement, and they cry youthful tears. "Of course you can." They both shout. "What is your name, my youthful friend?" Guy asked with a thumbs up and sparkling teeth. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki." "Well, Naruto-kun, let's get to it by running 100 laps around the village and then 500 push-ups and then 500 sit-ups, then climb the Hokage monument with boulders on our back, then we have a all-out spar." Naruto loses a little color at all the workouts only to be replaced with a grin because he is getting what he wanted. Hokage Tower. All the Jonin sensei are in the Hokage office waiting for one extra Jonin so they can finally start the meeting. While waiting, they often saw the trio of Guy, Lee, and Naruto running laps around the village, and to everyone's shock he was keeping up with them, and that is an achievement in itself because everyone knows how much stamina those 2 have. They even saw him flying with kids. "Hokage-sama, what is that boy made of? Not only is he working out with those 2, but he is flying kids around on his back. I can't even do that with my wind manipulation, yeet," Asuma said, slack-jawed along with the other Jonin except the slightly recovered Anko and healthy Kurenai. "Sorry I was late, Hokage-sama. I saw kids flying in the sky and stayed inside because I thought the world was ending," said the one-eyed man, only to be shocked when the old Kage shot him with heavy ki that sent him on one knee and made everyone else nervous. "Listen here, Kakashi, I let your lateness slide for too long now. You are a grown man, you need to grow up and get your shit together. When I call you I want to hear, not whenever you feel like it. Do you understand me?" Why yes, Hokage-sama," the kneeling Jonin says. Then the ki vanished. "Okay everyone, we are here to see who passed and who didn't. The leader of teams 1 to 6 failed. Kakashi, leader of team 7. Pass." "Everyone is shocked." "Explain," said the old Kage in an authoritative voice. "Well, Sasuke Uchiha is worthy of his title Rookie of the Year." This gains a snort from Anko and Kurenai. "Anyways, he shot a fireball at me as a cover for Sakura Haruno and the civilian ninja to flank me with weapons and try to snack the bells, but it didn't work and I tied them up, but because they worked together I passed them." "Okay, that is good. Next, team 8. Said the Hokage looking at Kurenai. "I gave my team a tracking test by telling them to find me. They worked together with Shino's bugs and Kiba's senses along with Hinata's bloodline to find me." "Okay, we have a future tracker team. Next, team 10. The Hokage looked at his son for his report. "For my team, I just told them they had to keep me still and they used perfect teamwork to keep me still for the 5 seconds. As to be expected, those kids are basically siblings." "Now Anko, can you please tell me how you ended up in a hospital and are so injured?" said the Hokage, already having an idea. "Well, you see, I kind of," she mumbled the last part with a blush and looked down. "Anko, Can you speak up? We didn't catch that last part, said the smiling Kurenai, being able to tease her friend for once. I said I got beat up there. Are happy now? The blushing Anko said she couldn't believe what was happening to her thanks to that Gaki. Anko, are you telling me your student sent you to the hospital? Said Kakashi with one wide eye. You guys didn't see him. He found me and started to shoot wind blades along with water blades at me. Then when I thought I could get away, he used a jutsu called Storm Release Circuit on me and 18 beams came from the 3 shadow clones and I was hit in the leg, arm, and shoulder, said Anko trying to save face. But that's not all. When I tried to hit him from his blind spot, he made arms of lighting come from his back and then tried to fry me on the spot. Wow, this kid is amazing. I see why you put him on a solo team. Nobody would be able to keep up with him, said Asuma, a little jealous of the kid. Yay, I just hope he doesn't end up like another Itachi or we will have to put him down, said the serious Kakashi. That statement got different reactions from other people. The Jonin that still hates Naruto nodded in agreement, while the ones who like him send glares at the other occupants. While the Hokage and Anko, Kurenai, sent ki to all of them, making them quiet. Kakashi, watch what you say. I'll have you know as much of the things that have happened to him. He is still willing to stay loyal to the village that does not deserve him, said the angry Hokage. Sorry. The Jonin puts his head down in shame. Now Anko, is there any more you would like to give on what happened? Asked the Kage looking back at Anko. Yes, he knocked me out using water-style water shockwave and it was like a massive wave the size of fully grown trees and he hit me with it and I was tossed around in the water and passed out. Wow, I should give him the water exercise of the second Hokage so he can push his water manipulation even further. Hiruzen thought to himself. Well, everyone go home, this meeting is over. Anko, you go get some rest, you look like you could use it. The Hokage dismissed everyone. Outside, the Jonin go their separate ways while some stick together like Anko, Kurenai, Kakashi and Asuma, who look like they want to ask some questions. How can I help you? Asuma asked Kurenai, looking at the nervous Asuma. Well, I wanted to know if you want to go out on a date tomorrow. Kurenai was shocked at what he said because she too had feelings for him, but the feelings were going away because she had noticed how sometimes he would look at her and it was not how Naruto would look at her with love and playfulness. That made her blush. Asuma sees this though she would say yes but is surprised when she shakes her head no. Sorry, Asuma, I don't want to go on a date with you. I don't see you that way, said Kurenai, giving him a weak smile. Anko pumps her fist slightly. Oh okay, maybe some other time. He then body flickers away, leaving only Kakashi reading his orange book and the two women who are irritated at this. And what do you want? Asked Anko, giving him a heated glare. Now there is no need to be like that. I just want to know if you can tell me more about your student, he says, giving her an eye smile. And why would I give up information on him like that? Anko said, getting a little suspicious of the man along with Kurenai. Well, information is key to a ninja and if you want to know more about him you are gonna have to ask him yourself because I will not be telling you, she says, a little hostile. Fine, is all he said. Then he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Well, now that he is gone, Nai-chan, I am going on a date with Naruto-kun, she says, jumping in the surprised Kurenai's arms. What a date? When? Asked Kurenai with wide eyes. Tomorrow. It's gonna be perfect because it's gonna be in the red light district and that place loves him. Oh I see, I hope you have fun, she says, trying to walk away to not show Anko how sad she is. Look Kurenai, just stop fighting it and admit that you like him and then you can also go on a date with him. I don't mind sharing with you, Anko says, pulling her back, causing Kurenai to blush at what she said. Really, you would do that for me? Said the red-faced Kurenai. Of course I would, right Naruto-kun, Anko said, causing Kurenai to turn around to look for her Naruto-kun only to hear the laughing Anko on the ground holding her stomach laughing at her. Oh, so you think this is funny? Well, I got something for you, Kurenai says, going through hand signs that make Anko take off running with Kurenai chasing her. Next morning, we can see Naruto running morning laps around the village in black ninja sandals and black hanbu pants with no shirt, causing all the girls he passes to stare at his body that is dripping with sweat. Next to him is his teacher Anko running with him in similar appearance except she has on a black sport bar, causing her chest to bounce every time she runs. Okay Anko-sensei, we have 50 more laps and that 100. Think you can keep up? I am going to be moving at Jonin speeds now, he says, challenging, causing her to smirk at him. Naruto-kun, I was doing this before you were even walking. The question is, can you keep up with me? She says and takes off at Jonin speeds, only becoming a purple blur to those who can't keep up with her, only to be passed by a golden blur that sounded like it was laughing. Get back here Gaki, is what she said before speeding up. They are neck and neck but are joined by others like Might Guy with his famous smile and his copy Rock Lee with the same smile. Hello my youthful comrades, let us bath in the springtime of youth, he says loudly. The green duo then pulls ahead of Naruto and Anko, who smirk at the challenge before passing the two. Loser has to do 50 more laps, Naruto says before blasting off laughing. The green duo gets fire in their eyes and dash off after them. "Naruto-kun, my eternal rival, I shall not lose," said Lee with fire. "Way to go, Lee, let's go." The ninja can barely see the people running through the village. Only the Jonin can see them. "It's the last lap, Anko-sensei, hold on and we got this victory," said the sweet-covered Naruto looking back at the panting Anko. "Don't worry about me, just keep going," she says, barely being able to keep up with her student. "No, we finish this together," he says, picking her up and putting her over his shoulder, getting a smack to the head. "At least warn me next time, you ass," she says to him. This caused the blonde to chuckle. "And you have a nice ass," he says, giving it a smack, causing her to blush. "Just run, you perv." In the back, Might Guy picks up Rock Lee because he cannot keep up anymore. "Lee, Naruto-kun is right, we finished together," he says, speeding up and is right next to Naruto now. The two racers are neck and neck and can see the finish line with a small crowd cheering them on. The two are about to cross the line and time slows down watching the two pass, and they are neck and neck. They two pass the line and collapse, breathing hard, out of breath. The two sit up to look at the other ninja to ask who won. "It was a tie," said one Genma with a senbon in his mouth. "Good race, Guy-sensei. We really bathed in the springtime of youth this morning," said the smiling blonde. "Yes, Naruto-kun, we will have a rematch." Naruto then gets up with Anko still on his shoulder and starts to walk off to the house of Anko, who had passed out due to how tired she was. "Okay, goodbye guys, I'll see you around," he says, waving his hand. Later that day. "Okay Anko, no need to be nervous, it's just you and Naruto-kun going out on a date, you two hang out all the time," said Yuago Uzuki, one Anko's closest friends. "Yay, I can always see you two having a good time around the village," said Hana Inuzuka, another one of Anko's closest friends. "You look fine, Anko, that dress suits you perfectly," said Kurenai. Anko can be seen in a purple dress that goes down to her ankles with a high split on her left leg, giving her legs room to move and show. It is held up by two straps that lay on her shoulders. She has her hair down to her shoulders and hangs over her breasts that are visible due to the slit in the chest area. "Are you sure? Maybe I should." She is cut off when a knock sounds at her door. All the girls quiet down and they push Anko to the door to open it. When she opens the door, they all see Naruto in a white button-up with the orange tie and black slacks along with black dress shoes that Kasumi picked out for him. "Wow, Anko-chan, you look beautiful, I think I can die in peace now," he said, giving her a warm smile. This makes all the girls blush hard. "Thank you, and Naruto-kun, you look really handsome as well." He grabs her hand and kisses it, making her blush more. "Shall we go home?" "I want her back by 10, mister, and keep your hands to yourself," Kurenai says, yelling at him only to be ignored when Naruto puts his hands on Anko butt, causing the girls to giggle at the red-faced Kurenai. "I swear I'm gonna kill him one day." "Well, do it after I can get a shot at him," said Hana with a small blush on her face. The two girls whip their heads to her in surprise. "Hana-chan, would you really date him?" asked Yugao. "Yes, I can just sense it coming off him. He is alpha male and there is no doubt about it, and not like my stupid brother who thinks he is just an alpha and everyone should submit to him," she says, a little heated. On the streets, the two turn heads when they walk and they can't help but smile at the shocked faces everyone has at seeing them. When they make it to the restaurant, the two are escorted to the roof where it is just the two of them alone, and they conversate and get to know a little bit more about each other while laughing and smiling the whole time while blushing at the teasing the two did towards each other. "Well, Anko-chan, this has been a great night and I hope we can do this some other time," he says, holding her hand, walking up to her house in the Forest of Death. "Yes, Naruto-kun, I've had a really good time tonight, but you should take Kurenai-chan, she also would like one but won't say it," Anko says with her head on Naruto's shoulder, just enjoying being right next to him. "We are here and just in time before anything bad could have happened to me." They both chuckle at that. The two just look at each other lovingly before gradually getting closer to each other until their lips meet for a kiss, and Naruto pulls Anko closer to him while grabbing her by the waist, making her gasp, and takes advantage by shoving his tongue in her mouth, showing who is in control, why moving his hands to the slit in her dress, giving her nice thighs slow rubs. The two are interrupted when they hear a thud and can see three girls on the floor with major nosebleeds. "Well, good night, Anko-chan," he says, giving her one more kiss goodbye before he turns around and disappears in a water body flicker. Anko sighs happily and turns around and skips to her bedroom with a goofy smile on her face. When Naruto gets home, he can see a tuft of orange hair in his bed sleeping peacefully. He strips to just a tank top and boxers and gets in bed next to her, and she rolls over on top of him, whispering Naruto-kun in her sleep. He kisses her forehead, making her smile in her sleep. "Good night, Kasumi-chan." He then falls asleep with a smile on his face. 2 months later. It's been 2 months since Naruto had been put on a team with Anko. Speaking of Anko, she had never been so happy in her life. Even the villagers that would always insult her could not bring her down. Her relationship with Naruto had been going perfect. They would train together, and because of that she had also gotten a little stronger. She could not beat Asuma, who used to be a guard for the fire daimyo. Naruto just seemed to get even stronger when he went to go ask for water scrolls from the Hokage, and the deals he got out of that was just amazing. Flashback. Hey old man, I need you to help me with something. Naruto says to the Hokage behind the desk filling out paperwork. What would you need my help with, Naruto-kun? Asked the old man with a raised eyebrow at the trench coat wearing blonde. I wanted to know if you have any water exercise I could do so I can become better at water jutsu. Well, I do, but why would I give it to you who is only a Genin? The Hokage said with an amused smirk. Oh, so that's how we are gonna play it. Naruto then walks around the office eyeing the old man until he goes over to the picture of Tobirama and eyed it for a second. You know, old man, I really admire the second. He is my favorite Hokage. He has done so much. He set the village on a good track after the death of the first. If I were a Hokage, I would like to be just like him, but more badass. He says, grinning. Hey, I know he has some water scrolls, let me have those. I would also like to get armor like his. I think it is really badass and it would totally look dope on me. Well, I do, but what can I get out of the steel if I hand it over? Well, I can give you the secret to beating paperwork. As soon as he said that, the old Hokage was on his knees begging him to tell him. Naruto-kun, please tell me and I will give you anything. The man shakes Naruto violently. Okay, I would like all his scrolls and armor to be made just like his, but take the fur off the collar. Deal. The Hokage said quickly. Now tell me how to beat it. Okay, shadow clones. The blonde said to the wide-eyed Hokage. Without further notice, Hiruzen walks to the picture of the second and moves the picture and slides some blood onto the safe behind it. He then pulls out everything and seals it into a bigger scroll and hands it to Naruto, who is smiling. I'll have your armor ready as soon as possible. Now leave me, I have paper to finally defeat. Flashback over. Anko-sensei, what do you think the old man needs us for if he sent Kitty-chan after us? He asked his sensei, who giggled at what he called the cat onbu. I don't know, but I was gonna give us a C-rank mission today anyways, so let's see what he wants. That's great, let's go. He says, picking her up and flying to the Hokage office. Hokage office. They appear in a pillar of water in front of the Hokage, who has a serious face. Team 11 ready for action. Anko says, I have a mission for you guys. It is an A-ranked mission to help back up Team 7 who have requested backup in Wave. They ran into Zabuza and the Demon Brothers, but those two have been dealt with by the Genin team. But they say Zabuza has another ninja with him and I want you guys to go and help him. He says in a serious tone. Yes, Lord Old Man. Yes, Hokage-sama. The old man can't help but shake his head at Naruto. Naruto-kun, your special order has been finished and it is ready for battle, he said, smiling at the blonde, throwing a scroll with it inside. Alright, I can test it out on this mission as well. He unseals the armor and can't help but grin at it. It blue battle armor similar to that of the second Hokage. Thank you, old man, we will leave right away, but first Kitty-chan, can I get a good luck hug? He says, looking up at the ceiling only for a purple-haired onbu to drop from it and walk up to him. I told you to stop calling me that. I am a grown woman, not some kitten. She says, walking into his open arms. Two had got close over the 2 months and would often have sword duels, and she was surprised at how good he was, and she recognized his style and instantly wanted to test it, but she could never beat him. Oh, don't be like that, kitten, you know you're going to miss me. He moved his hands to her ass and grabbed a handful. Eep. Was the sound she made, and if it were not for the mask everyone would see how red-faced she was. She then pulled out her sword and tried to cut him, but he grabbed Anko and disappeared while everyone laughed at her. Gates of Konoha. Alright, Naruto-kun, you have everything, she said, checking her pack. Yup, me and Kasumi-chan are ready to take on this mission, Naruto said, in his blue armor with Kasumi around his shoulder making a fur collar. Alright, let's go, she shouted and jumped off in the forest. A paw smacked the top of his head. Let's go already, she is going to leave us behind. Okay, geez, you're so bossy. He then follows after her, jumping next to her through the trees at Jonin speeds. Naruto and Anko could be seen jumping through the trees on their way to back up Team 7 who have requested immediate backup. They had been making good pace to the location, which was the bridge builder's house named Tazna. If we keep this pace we can be at the house by the end of the day, Naruto-kun. Anko says to her student who was slightly behind her along with the fox on his neck. Okay, Anko-sensei, I just hope we don't run into any trouble, he says, looking around. As if Kami heard his wish, a single ninja jumps in the duo's way. Way to go, Naruto-kun, you just had to open your mouth, Anko says, sending Naruto a slight glare, who rubs the back of his head. Well, look what we have here, two tree huggers a little too far away from home, said the missing ninja with a crossed-out headband with the leaf symbol. Aoi Rokuso, who has the legendary Raijin no Ken made by the second Hokage and a treasure of the leaf. Anko, is that you? They let the snake whore out of her cage, haha. He laughs at the Anko, who is angry at his taunting but not as angry as one Naruto Uzumaki. Shut up, you traitor, "What are you even doing here? Don't tell me you're working with Zabuza," she says while taking out a kunai. "Yes, he told me to cover his tracks just in case they called back up, and boy was he right. I just didn't think they would send a snack after us. Why don't you join me and you can be just like your master and maybe even please me, your master." He gives her a gaze filled with just lust in his eyes that makes her uneasy. His laughter is put to a halt when he is blasted with so much ki he can barely breathe or stand. "I think I've heard enough come out of that mouth of yours. I think I will shut it forever," he says, pulling his moonlight sword out of his sheath. "It has been decided, you are gonna be the first to die by my blade." As he says that, Aoi pulls the Raijin out to hopeful defend himself, but he is still shaking. "You can't beat me, I am invincible with the Raijin on my side," he shouts, charging at the blonde. "Die," Naruto says in a cold tone and swings his sword down, and Aoi is split in half and a quarter mile of forest is also destroyed in his attack, leaving Anko wide-eyed. Naruto walks to Anko and pulls her to him and gives her a kiss full of love and passion that makes her lower area heat up. "Nobody will touch you, you're mine," he says in her ear, making her shiver at how possessive he is over her. "Oh okay, and Naruto-kun," she says, still shaken up at what just happened. Naruto goes and picks up the Raijin no Ken that is laying next to a wide-eyed Aoi who died with terror in his eyes. Naruto then throws up on his body at killing his enemy so brutally. "Why am I acting like this? He is not my first kill," he says with a shaken-up voice. "It's because when you killed Mizuki you really didn't have time to focus on what you did because there was so much going on, you didn't even leave the ashes of that other guy," she says with a little laugh at the end. "So cheer up, this is something you're gonna have to get used to," she says, giving a kiss to his cheek. "Yes Naruto-kun, don't worry, we will be here to help you," the orange fox says on his shoulder, nuzzling his face, giving it a little lick. Yay, what that fox just said. Only to freeze when she realized that fox just talked. "Naruto-kun, I know this fox just talked, do you want to tell me about that?" she says, giving him a smile to sweet smile to be good. "Oh Anko-chan, did I not tell you this is Kasumi-chan the Kyuubi?" he says with a nervous laugh, only to blatch when she gets in his face, smile still there. "You mean to tell me that you have been doing training and walking around with the fox that attacked the village 13 years ago just sitting on your shoulder?" "Yes." "Bonk. You idiot, why the hell didn't you tell me, and how do you know she can be trusted?" she says, yelling in his face. "Hey Anko-chan, can you let me explain? The attack was not her fault, she was under a genjutsu, so none of it was her fault. She is a really nice person, although she can be a little bossy at times." "Yes, he is right, I was not myself for a lack of better terms that night, I am sorry," the vixen says a little sadly. "Wait, the Kyuubi is a woman. Hot take that, you sexist pigs," she says, pumping a fist in the air with a grin on her face. "But don't worry about the whole attacking the village thing. If you were being controlled, then don't worry about it, was not your fault." "Thank you Anko-chan. I will show you what I really look like when we get back to the bridge builder house," the fox says, happy. "Whoa, you have a human form?" asked Anko with stars in her eyes. "Yes she does, and let me be the first to say she is just beautiful. She took my breath away." This makes the fox hide in Naruto's armor from embarrassment. "Okay, we wasted enough time taking that guy's head and we can get his bounty and sword for a bunch of money." With that done, the trio jumps off back into the trees to get to the location before anything else happens that can stop them from making it to their location. Dazuna's house. Sasuke and Sakura can be seen outside standing over the makeshift grave they made for their teammate who died in the early run in the group head with Zabuza. Turns out he was not able to dodge the cleave sword Zabuza had thrown at the death. Did not seem to affect Sasuke that much, but it was a different story for Sakura, who was crying at his death. Their sensei was recovering in a spare room in one of the rooms upstairs in the house. "Come on Sakura, we have to go, we cannot be out here forever." "But Sasuke-kun, don't you feel sad about our teammate?" she says with a few tears in his eyes. "No I don't, this is what happens when you are weak, so you better step it up or you could end up just like him," he says, uncaring to her. "Would you be sad if I died, Sasuke-kun?" she said hopefully. "No," he says, walking away, leaving the pink-haired girl to cry alone. She follows him silently back to the house so they can welcome the team that comes to back them up, because they both know they could use any kind of help on this mission because they already lost a fellow ninja and Sakura was starting to take in all she has done since becoming a ninja. "Maybe Sasuke-kun was correct and I need to start training seriously now and then. Maybe Sasuke-kun will fall in love with me and we can help rebuild his clan." A little blood drops from her nose at the things she is thinking the two will do, while inner Sakura is shaking her head. "Why don't you just leave that asshole alone and focus on Naruto-kun? Did you see how handsome he has gotten these past 2 months? I could just..." She is cut off by Sakura, who screams and shakes her head to make her shut up. "No, I don't see him like that, although I will admit he has gotten really handsome over these past 2 months, But you've seen how he has been holding hands with that purple-haired woman. He does not want to be with us anymore. Yes, you are right, but you can at least be friends with him and maybe he can help us with our training so that way we can actually make something out of ourselves. Yes, I will be nicer to him and apologize for all the things I did, she says with a little smile. While Sasuke just eyes her weirdly from all the facial faces she was making, he just shakes it off and gets back to thinking of ways he can have Kakashi-sensei train him. 1 hour later. Finally, it feels like we have been running forever. I am so tired. The orange-tailed fox says, waving her front paws in exaggeration. What are you complaining about? You didn't even do anything, you were just on my shoulder the whole time, he says with a sweat drop on his head at her antics. But I still had to deal with you always jumping from tree to tree. Why did you do that instead of just fly us here? She gave him a questioning gaze. Well, it kinda slipped my mind, I didn't think of it, he said, rubbing the back of his head. Only to be hit by both Anko and Kasumi. Naruto-kun, sometimes you can be as smart as a Nara and then sometimes be dumber than a sack of rocks, said the snake mistress. Come on Kasumi-chan, let's leave him here, Anko said, opening her arms for the fox to jump into. Wait Kasumi-chan, how could you leave me out to dry like this? He says with waterfall tears coming out of his eyes. Get up, you, let's just regroup with these fools and get the mission over with, she says, dragging him with one of her tails. Knock knock, Anko says, hitting the door a couple times. Why do you say knock knock while hitting the door? Naruto said, sweat dropping at her childish antics. Because it's fun, came the short reply from Anko. Coming, a female voice said from the other side of the door, and feet could be heard shuffling to the door. The door cracked open slightly and a woman with long black hair with a dark blue tent and black eyes could be seen peeking her head out. Hello, how may I help you? She says with a kind smile, trying to ease her nervousness from the 2 humans and 1 fox on top of the purple-haired lady's head. We are Team 11 and we are the backup for Team 7. My name is Anko Mitarashi and this is my student Naruto Uzumaki. A smack from a paw on her head makes her remember the orange fox on her head. Oh yeah, this is Kasumi-chan, our team mascot. A bite to her ear lets her know she didn't like that comment. Tsunami can't help but sweat drop at the human and fox butting heads and snots with each other. Okay, thank you for coming to help assist us. It seems they already lost a teammate on the way over here and it seems it has affected the pink-haired girl named Sakura very much. They all look at her with shock. Wow, I didn't think we would already start losing classmates so fast. He then clenches his fist and grabs Anko's hand. I'll never let anything happen to her on my watch. Anko, seeing this, can't help but smile and thank Kami and her head for a good boyfriend. Kasumi-chan, Naruto calls the vixen using their mind link. Yes, Naruto-kun? Replied the vixen with a question tone. Is it okay if we practice how to use some of your chakra? He asked. This catches her off guard because he has never asked for her power since she has been sealed in him. Okay Naruto-kun, but you really don't need my power, you are already able to beat every ninja in the village. You might only struggle with the old Hokage because of all the years of experience he has over you. Thank you Kasumi-chan, you are the best, he says, giving her a smile that makes her blush and turn her head, making him chuckle. May we come in now to talk to the others, said Anko, talking to Tsunami. Oh yes, I am sorry, please come in. I was just about to start dinner, she says, giving them a warm smile. Oh, you were about to cook, that is great, I was getting really hungry as well with all the running we did to get here, he says, rubbing his stomach, walking into the house. Well great, but before that, can one of you accompany me to the market? I would like some help. Don't worry about Tsunami-san, it would be my pleasure to accompany such a lovely lady to the market. This makes the mother smile while Anko sends him a wink. Thank you for the compliment. The mother turns red-faced at what the handsome blonde said to her. What are you doing here dead last? We don't need help from you, said one duck-butt Avenger. Naruto rolls his eyes at the pitiful Uchiha. Clearly you don't remember what I said last time someone called me. And without much more being said, Naruto kicks him in the face, leaving an imprint of his foot on his face. Naruto baka. But she stops when she remembered what she had said earlier and just walks up to him and gives him a weak punch in his blue armor that barely does anything. Ouch, he says, confused. We can talk later. I want to ask you something, she says, looking at him sadly. Okay, just wake up your stupid sensei and tell him we made it while I go with the lovely mother over here. Tsunami blushes again and tries to hide her face with her hands. Father, I am leaving for the market with one of the ninjas. Okay, be safe and get some for alcohol. A voice sounded from the backyard. Bye mom, be safe. A little boy with a bucket hat on his head says, giving her a small smile. He then looks at Naruto and snorts and runs away. Sorry about my son, he's just having a tough time right now, she says, giving Naruto a sad smile. Don't sweat it Tsunami, let's just go get what you need and then we can eat some food. Bye Naruto-kun, be safe. Wave Donko and the fox together. Streets wave. Wow, how long has this been going on now? Naruto asks Tsunami, looking around at all the people on the street in the worst condition possible. It reminded him of how his younger life used to be growing up. It's been like this for a little over 2 years now, and it's only getting worse thanks to that damn Gato. A little angry at how her country was suffering thanks to some idiot. A tap against Naruto's back pocket and he can see what looks like a little girl running away with his wallet into an alley. Tsunami, someone just stole my wallet. I'll leave a clone with you to make sure you are alright. I will be back. Oh okay Naruto, just don't hurt the children. He then runs off after her into the alley, only to stop at what he sees. The black-haired girl is giving his money away to kids around her age and telling to go buy some food. She then ran further down and tossed his wallet in the trash and went into what looks like a box under some rubble. He walks over to her to get a better view of the girl. A short and petite girl with light skin and purple eyes. Her hair is black, with several strands that reach to the bottom of her neck and one bang that goes down the middle of her face to her chin. She hears him and looks up at him with surprise, only to shake it off and get in a makeshift fighting style. Naruto can't help but smile at her and think to himself, oh yeah, she has got a spark in her. But it also makes him a little sad at the fact that a girl only 9 has to fight, which means this is not the first time someone has found her. Hello there, you remember me? You just robbed me and gave all my money away. He says, getting on one knee, getting eye to eye with the little girl. Yes I do, and it was for a good cause. She replied without even being feared. Naruto smiles even more at her attitude. Man, I said the same thing when I stole that food and gave it to Panda-chan at the orphanage. I hope she is doing well. He chuckles at her and then sits down, much to her confusion. I am not going to do anything to you, okay? I did the same thing when I was your age. He says, giving her a sad smile, making her lower her defense a little bit. What are you talking about? I am 9, so are you telling me you also used to live on the streets? She says, eyeing him. Yup, but you have on a leaf headband. You must have had a good life in your nice comfortable village that is said to be the strongest. She gives him a glare. He shakes his head at her. That's just what they say when people visit and only go to the rich part of the village, and they talk about how the will of fire and mighty heroes fought to make the village what it is now. Truth is that fire is slowly dying down and being corrupted, but that's why I am here to make the village what it used to be when everyone was happy and no one suffered. Why are you telling me this? She asked, sitting down in front of him. Because I was once like you. I too had to fight for my life and started stealing and giving what I had to those who needed it. All while getting nothing in return but empty promises. She looks down at his words because it is true. But I don't do it just to get a thank you. These people need this and I am just simply helping them. He smiles at her. What is your name, little girl? He asked, giving her a warm smile that made her feel comforted. Rukia. She says with pride, sticking her chest out a little bit. Making Naruto laugh at her, causing Rukia to pout, only to be replaced with a chuckle until she starts to laugh with him. If someone were to see this scene, it would look like a father and daughter having a nice time. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. He grins at her and she does the same. Well, Rukia-chan, would you come with me and let me help you for a change? Give her a fatherly smile that makes her feel comfortable again. Why yes. She hesitantly takes his hand, hesitantly not wanting this to be a trick. Only to be surprised when he pulls onto his neck and he holds her legs while she has her hand in his hair. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She says from the top of his head. I am going to take you shopping, Rukia-chan. We can't have you in those rags forever now, can we? This makes the black-haired girl surprised at this. But I thought I gave all your money away. She is a little sad at the last part. I have extra money in a seal I keep on my thumb. He unseals the money, much to her shock. Naruto, what are seals and how did you do that? Seals are an art that ninjas use to do battle, or in my case seal things away. You can do a whole bunch of things with seals. Wow, are you any good at using seals? She asked in a questioning tone. Am I any good? I'll have you know I am a seal master of the highest caliber. Cool, do you think you can teach me seals? She says a little shyly. Naruto looks up at her and then grins. Of course I can teach you seals. Do you have good handwriting? This makes her look down. No, I do not know how to write. I can only read. Ah, don't worry, I'll teach you everything. He gives a warm smile. Now what kind of clothes would you like to wear, Rukia-chan? I would like a kimono. I've always wanted one of those. Well then let's go get you one. He then starts to walk the streets of Wave looking for any stores that would have what he is looking for to get Rukia, while also giving away some of his foods to the people of Wave who need it. They eventually find a store and they go in to see the poor state the store is in. Okay Rukia-chan, go find something you want and I'll tell you what looks good. She nods and then runs off looking at the clothes. The storekeeper, a middle-aged man, whispers to Naruto. You know sir, I think it's really nice what you are doing for that young girl. She is always stealing from Gato's men and giving people of Wave the food and money and barely taking enough for herself. When she isn't lucky they would beat her up, but she would always try to fight back, but as a little girl she wasn't able to do much. The man says a little sadly. Naruto clenches his fist at what the man is telling him. I'll be damned if I let one of those bastards lay a finger on her. He thinks to himself, making his eyes change from ocean blue to blood red for a second. Hey Naruto, what do you think of this one? Does it look good on me? She is wearing a purple kimono with white snowflakes on it. A navy blue obi that wraps around her waist along with white slip-on sandals. It looks beautiful, you little snow princess. Naruto says to her, making her give him a bright smile that makes his eyes a little watery, but he shakes it off before anyone notices. He then walks to the cashier and gives him a little extra, which makes the man bow his head and thank him. Okay Rukia-chan, let's get you something to eat. He then picks her up and puts her on his shoulder again. What are we gonna eat Naruto? Well, I am staying here for a mission and this nice lady named Tsunami will be making food for us. A mission? She asks him. Yup, the leader of my village gave my team a mission to come out here and I will go back home when it's done. He says, not noticing her small frown at his last statement. Hey, you wanna help me catch some more food for Tsunami? I can show you a cool trick. Yay, I do. She says, giving a smile again. Only to be surprised when Naruto jumps on top of the roof and starts to jump from roof to roof. And Naruto, this is really bumpy. She gets out flying up and down on Naruto's shoulder. Okay, how about I fly then? He gives a foxy smile. You can't fly, that's impossible. Only to be shocked when Naruto takes off in the air, making her scream. Dazuna's house. Hello everyone, I am back, said Tsunami, letting everyone know she is back. Finally, will you get started on dinner now? I'm hungry. The old drunk says, coming stumbling out of the kitchen. Hey, where's Naruto? Asked the copycat ninja Kakashi. Oh, someone stole his wallet and he went after her, leaving a clone with me that just puffed in smoke. Well, I hope he hurries up. It's getting dark outside. Anko says worriedly. Mama, now I'm sure your little boyfriend can take care of himself. He is a big boy. Kakashi says, trying to tease Anko only to have to dodge a snake that came flying at him. Everyone stopped when they could hear screaming and laughter coming from outside, and they all went outside, even the emo Inari. Only for the family and Team 7 to drop their jaws at what they are seeing. It's Naruto flying, doing tricks and laughing at the girl on his back. He then flies down to the ground so they can go inside. And Naruto, why would you do that if you were flying too fast? She then falls face first. Only to get up and chase the laughing blonde around, trying to punch his lights out. Naruto-kun. The shout of a running Anko and Fox coming snapped them out of their fun. Hello Anko-chan. Kasumi-chan, everyone, okay? He says, getting a kiss from Anko and a lick from the fox. You should just put her lips on your Naruto. She says, making a yuck face at what they were doing. It's called a kiss. You do it to people you love. He says to her with a grin. Everyone else is just watching them in confusion. You guys did see him flying around, right? A Pinkett said. Everyone nods at that. Sasuke and Inari walk off to be emo, to the sadness of the two girls. Later we can find everyone at the dinner table finishing the dinner of cooked fish and rice thanks to all the fish Naruto caught. Naruto was sitting at the end of the table with Rukia in his lap and Kasumi on his head again. Anko to his left looking at him, and Rukia with a blush. Think about how a good father Naruto would is at the other end of the table looking at Naruto with a small smile, with Inari next to him who has a scowl. Tsunami across from him who has a look in her eyes at seeing her son. Team 7 is on the other side of the table. Okay guys, I have some important things to say about our mission. Kakashi says, closing his book looking at everyone. Zabuzai is still alive, he did not die like we thought he did, and that Hunter Ninja is helping him and he most likely taking a week to recover like me. Dazuna's family gasps along with Team 7. Well, good thing you guys called us or you would be in real trouble. Naruto says, smirking, making Sasuke angry. We don't need you dead last. Sasuke covers his mouth quickly. He then sees Naruto grinning evilly. Don't worry dude, I can't get you right now. Sasuke sighs until he looks to the left, only to be kicked in the face by a shadow clone of Naruto, which makes him and the fox start to laugh while everyone else holds in their laughter a little bit. Sasuke-kun, are you okay? Sakura says, going over to him to help him, only to be pushed away. I don't need your help, weakling. He walks upstairs. I am going to bed. Well, I think we all should go to bed as well. Naruto says, picking up Rukia. Tsunami-chan, the dinner was great. Is there a place where we can sleep? She blushes at what he said. Why yes, and thank you. Allow me to show you where it is. He follows her along with Anko and the fox, which Kakashi eyes with a suspicious gaze, wondering if it is what he thinks it is. Naruto places Rukia in the futon and walks away, only to stop when she gets up and hugs him, saying thank you. Naruto returns her hug with a smile. Naruto then walks out the room, only to see Anko smiling at him, who gives him a smirk. You are like a father to that girl and I think she likes it. You do know that we are gonna have to leave this place, right? She tells him. He sighs at this. Yes, I do know, and I think I will ask to adopt her and come back with us to the leave. But they don't know Rukia is listening to this and is crying tears of happiness and can't believe this. She then runs out and jumps on Naruto and laughs. Yes, I would love to be your daughter, Papa. She says, still crying, which makes Naruto also cry with happiness. Okay, my daughter. Anko and Kasumi watch this with smiles on their faces. 30. Let me know if you people have any summoning contracts you would like to see, because I will not be giving him toads. I was thinking of giving him Cheeto or Panther summoning contracts. It is early in the morning at the house of Tazuna, and we can see all the applicants of the house begging to wake up, while some are still trying to get in extra hours of sleep. Kakashi is already up and getting some early morning reads in before anyone can interrupt him. Sakura is still asleep, mumbling about nonsense. Sasuke is up doing morning workouts, thinking of his brother. Inari can be seen walking the halls to his mother's room. Tsunami is just waking up to make breakfast for everyone. Tazuna is on the floor, passed out from too much drinking. Anko is sprawled out in her futon with one leg out and a plushie of Naruto close to her. Naruto is in the futon with one Rukia attached to his right arm with blinking eyes, seeing where she is. Wow, that was the best sleep I have ever had in my life, she says, looking around with sleepy eyes until she remembers what happened last night. So it wasn't a dream, I really have a dad. She then tries to shake Naruto awake, but he doesn't budge. An evil smile appears on her face. So you don't want to wake up, huh, Papa? Well, I know how to wake you up. She then gets up silently and stands over Naruto, evil grin still in place. She then jumps up as high as she can and comes down screaming. Wake up. She comes down with an elbow drop to his stomach. This causes Naruto to shoot up with wide eyes, and he can hear a laughing Kasumi in his head. Rukia-chan, what was that for? He was able to get out through labored breath. Rukia could only stand there with a smirk in place at what she did to her dad. That thought makes her smile. Good morning, Daddy, I just needed you to wake up so you can teach me how to write like you said you would. This causes Naruto to smile at her and pulls her into a hug. Good morning to you as well, baby. He then kisses her on the top of her head. He then puts her in a headlock and gives her a nuggie. This is the scene when Anko walks in on and can't help but smile at them. Well, you two seem to be having fun, Anko says with a grin, leaning against the door. Well, when you two are done, I would like to let you know that everyone else is up and Kakashi wants to talk about training. Okay, Anko-chan, we will be down when we get dressed, he says, getting up, only for Anko to turn around with a red face at what she saw. Oh my god, he's so big it was sticking out of his boxers. Maybe I should check again to be sure I saw what I saw was real. Only to sigh sadly because he put on orange jogging pants and a black long sleeve. Okay, Rukia-chan, I'll teach you how to write and a little about seals while we wait for dinner. They then walk out, but not before giving Anko a peck on the lips. They made their way downstairs saying good morning to everyone, getting replies even from Sakura. Naruto sits at the table and Rukia in his lap, jumping with excitement at learning how to write. Okay, Papa, I am ready. What do we do first? She says, looking at him with a smile. This is a scroll I use to write seals in, and I want you to practice writing your name. Let me show you how it is done first. He then writes her name on the scroll. Now you go. She then takes the brush and starts to concentrate so hard she even sticks her tongue out to the side of her mouth, much to the amusement of everyone else. They then spend 45 minutes teaching her how to write, and she is able to write her name fast while making all the letters in the alphabet. Okay teams, I have some training I want us to do. He says with his eye smile to everyone in the room. My team, we will be doing something that can increase the efficiency of your jutsu. This got Sasuke up and ready to go immediately, while Sakura also had a fire in her eyes, much to the happiness of Kakashi. He looks at Anko and Naruto still helping Rukia. Anko, does Naruto already know the basic exercise? This causes her to grin at him. Kakashi, he can fly. I think that's all you need to hear. Naruto-kun, I want you to do some training as well. Work on some more water manipulation. You mentioned you couldn't make waves in a still lake yet, well now is your chance. She says to him, making him understand. Okay Rukia-chan, how about we unlock your chakra and teach you how to walk on trees while you see how awesome your dad is, he says, giving her a foxy smile. Really, we can unlock my chakra? That will be so cool. She then jumps up and gives him hugs and kisses all over his face, making everyone laugh except Sasuke and Inari, who have scowls. Why are you even trying? You're just going to die anyway, there is no hope for us. He says, running off with tears in his eyes. But before he can get away, Naruto hits him in the head with a water bullet that makes him fall. Watch your mouth, brat, you haven't even seen what I'm fully capable of, he says, giving him a smirk to help cheer him up, only for it not to work and Inari still ran off. Then Rukia hits him in the head. Papa, that was not nice, you hit that boy in the head and he was already about to cry. causing him to sulk his head and everyone else to laugh at him. Outside, okay Rukia-chan, just focus on the inside of your body and you should feel it inside of your body, and when you feel it I want you to grab it and then pull it until it explodes out of your body. He explains to her. Okay daddy, I will give it my all. She then begins to concentrate, sticking her tongue out again, making him think how cute she looks. Only for him to look at his leg and see Kasumi between his legs in her fox form. What is it Kasumi-chan, want to see my daughter kick ass? He asked, smirking at her. Yes, I also want to tell you about your mother, she says to the wide-eyed Naruto. She was my previous container and best friend, but when she was giving birth to you she was kidnapped by some masked man, and I already told you about that masked guy. She says, looking at Rukia, who is now sweating from what's happening. Did she love me? He asked her, feeling a little worried about something he always wanted to know. This makes Kasumi smile at him. Love isn't even the right word. She was overjoyed to be a mother. She was up all night talking to me about all the things she was going to teach you. Most of the time I wouldn't listen because she would just go on and on. She says, laughing at the end. Naruto sheds little tears at what he is hearing about his mother and that she loved him. What was her name? He asked, a little more control of himself. Her name was Kushina Uzumaki, part of the Uzumaki clan, which makes you the heir to her clan. She says, smirking. I knew I was from some kind of clan. The things I had just made it impossible for me to be some average child, especially if I was able to hold the queen of the bijou. He says at the end, giving Kasumi a smirk, making her stick her fox chest out. They are snapped back to Rukia when she releases chakra as much as a high chunin would have, making the two go wide at her. Dad, I did it, my chakra is unlocked. I can feel it all over my body. I feel like I can do anything. Running around and throwing punches and kicks in the air. Kasumi-chan, is it me or does her chakra feel kind of cold to you? He said to her how cold the air got because of her chakra. Yes Naruto-kun, I can feel she is a Yuki and has the power of ice. Okay Rukia-chan, that is good. Now I need you to focus your chakra in your feet and walk up the tree like this. He then shows her how it is done. Okay, I have my own training to do, so I'll leave some clones with you, and if you need me just tell a clone and tell me. He say, making 100 clones to go train with him. Okay dad, when I am done I'll be up the tree with no hands. Giving him a nice guy pose, making an echo of youth sound in the distance. Later that day, we can find Naruto in what seems to be an ocean that used to be a lake. There are massive waves and laughter can be heard, along with the chants of someone saying they finally did it. A massive wave 20 feet tall is about to crash down, and we can see our blonde hero surfing the wave with a shit-eating grin on his face along with his laughter. Ha ha ha, and they called me a madman. They were right, this is so fun, I should take the gang to do this surfing thing I just came up with. He then jumps off the top of the wave and crashes in the water. Okay, now I just need to finish the final step of water manipulation, which is making the flow of a waterfall reverse, and I'll be a master. I think I can go back now, it is getting pretty late. He says, looking at the setting sun. I wonder what Tsunami-chan is making for dinner. Some good food is what I need right now. He then flies off to the house of Tezuna with a smirk at giving a nice show to the spy. A girl about his age with long black hair and soft brown eyes which are currently wide as saucers at what she just saw. I have to tell Zabuza-sama what I just saw. If he is their backup we will most likely not win. She then runs off to do just as she had said. Tazuna's house. Damn girl, can you get off the ceiling already? You're leaving footprints all on my ceiling. A slightly drunk Tezuna shaking his fist at the girl who is sitting on the ceiling smiling. Why don't you make me, you old drunk? She says, giving him the middle finger that she learned from Anko, who is over at the table laughing with Tsunami, who has a hand over her mouth trying to stop herself from laughing while Sakura is holding her stomach laughing. Tazuna goes red with anger and walks away mumbling about bad children. Hello everyone, the handsome and badass ninja has come back from his training. Naruto says in a soaked black t-shirt and white jogging pants with his ninja sandals. The wet shirt is hugging his muscles, making all the girls stare, even Sakura. Daddy, you're finally back, said a giggling Rukia who dropped from the ceiling, landing on top of his head with a smile still on her face. Hey, I see you got the tree walking exercise down, that's really great. He says, rubbing her head much to her excitement. I also learned something else. She then shows him her middle finger. Anko-chan showed me how to do this. Naruto then slowly turns his head to Anko, who is sweating nervously at the look Naruto is giving her. Anko-chan, why are you teaching my daughter such bad habits? Well, she asked me to learn some hand signs and I thought I should teach her that for perverts. She says, trying to defend herself from the wrath of her father. Not a good enough answer. I think I will give you 50 spankings tonight as your punishment. He says, grinning at Anko, who blushes and is scared at the same time. And now there is no need for any of that, and Naruto-kun. She says, hoping to stop him from doing that to her. No, I will, but now let's eat. I'm sure Tsunami-chan has made us some good food. he says quickly, sitting at the table with Rukia in his lap. "Oh Naruto-kun, you are too kind," Tsunami says, red-faced. Everyone sits down and starts eating, laughing at everyone talking about how their day went and what else they have planned. "So while I was out training I made a whole ocean and invented this new thing called surfing, and it is really fun. It can get the blood pumping and helps with control," he says, laughing at the shock of everyone. "Naruto-kun, can you show me please? I want to surf," Anko says, giving him the puppy dog eyes. Only to be disappointed when he turned his head just in time. "Papa, you will take me, right?" Rukia says, giving him the puppy eyes. "Oh, how could I say no to my little snow princess?" Naruto says, rubbing his face against hers, making her giggle, only to be stopped when a hand is slammed on the table. "What is wrong with you people? Why are you just sitting here laughing and talking about all this training like it will ever amount to anything? You're all just gonna die, so you should just give up," he says, yelling at everyone. "Aw, come on kid, I'll take you surfing as well if that is why you are so mad," he says, laughing at him. "Shut up, you are sitting here laughing and playing around. You don't know anything about this country or what it's like to suffer. You live in your comfortable village without a care in the world, you don't know how hard we have it," he screams, glaring down at Naruto, who had stopped laughing and now had his head down and eyes shadowed by his hair. His one smiling face had been replaced with a deep scowl on his face, one of the likes anyone has never seen beside Anko and Kasumi. "Don't know how hard we have it, don't know what it is like to suffer." As he is talking, the winds pick up, thunder starts to sound off, the waves outside start to clash violently. "You really don't know how good you have it, do you? You foolish child, you have a mother at home who gets up and cleans up after you and your grandfather, a mother who worries about you, a mother who helps you when you are hurt, a grandfather who is putting his life on the line just so people like you who are too scared to do any work can live happily." He says all of this while the storm picks up and his hair changes white for a second, while the occupants of the room worry for their safety. "When I was your age I was on the streets fighting for my life just to find a place to sleep and put food in my stomach. Fighting the people I am sworn to protect. But did I complain? No, I didn't. I kept getting back on my feet," he says with all in an electrified tone, scaring everyone and even Rukia a little bit, who is looking at her dad in horror. "For a reason I had no idea about until 2 months ago, from a traitor who tried to kill me and someone I hold close to me. When was the last time you went into that town, boy? There are kids your age and younger who are on the streets starving, struggling just to make it past this week." He then gets up and sets the wide-eyed Rukia in Anko's arm, who is giving him a sad smile with a couple tears in the corner of her eyes. He then kisses them both. "Daddy will be back later, I have to clear my head." He walks outside and a lightning bolt strikes him and then he's gone, leaving everyone speechless. "Kakashi-sensei, did all that really happen to him?" Sakura asked in a shaky tone, not wanting to believe what she was hearing. "No Sakura, it was much worse. Naruto was often in the hospital when the villagers would gang up on him and he would have to fight back," he says, shocking everyone. This makes Rukia clench her fist and she makes a vow to protect her dad. "You know, when Naruto found me I stole all his money and gave it away." Rukia speaks up with tears going down her face. "I was living in a box and barely had food and clothes to eat, but I never let it stop me because that's what cowards do, and Rukia Uzumaki is no coward," she says, running upstairs to the room she shares with her dad. Most smile at what the young girl says while Tsunami, Inari and Sakura are still shedding tears. "Why didn't anyone help him? And I was so mean to him, I just feel so terrible." Sakura cries more when remembering how she treated him. "That loser was just joking, he was always pulling pranks and running around with that stupid smile on his face." Sasuke says, only to be shocked when he is slapped by an angry Anko. He is sending him massive ki, making him shake like a leaf. Kakashi grabs her to calm her down only to be pushed off. "I am going to Rukia-chan. Kami knows she needs someone to help her with her daddy problems," Anko says, walking upstairs, leaving everyone to do whatever they want. "I think it's best if we all go to sleep. We have some more training to do tomorrow." Kakashi speaks up, clapping his hands, and everyone goes to their rooms. Next morning. It was the morning after Naruto had his little outburst at Inari. He just had to get away. He didn't mean to yell at the kid like that. He had to get away from his daughter, who was scared of him. "Will she leave me now that she has seen me like that? Will she think I'm a monster?" he asked in a scared tone. The once forest Naruto was in now looks like a storm came through, but with Naruto I guess that is not far from the truth in his case. The once tall trees were all destroyed and laying on the ground, with some looking like they were hit by lightning. Naruto's clothes had scratch marks all on his clothes, cuts and dirt on his face. This was the scene Hakuyuki came and was looking for some herbs for her master. "That's the boy I saw yesterday. What is he doing out in the forest? This is my chance to get rid of him because Zabuza-sama didn't believe me." She thinks, a little irritated at her master. Hovering a hand over to him, she is surprised when something unexpected happens to her. "Eep. A girlish sound comes from her lips when Naruto pulls her down and puts her against him. Her face is as red as a tomato. Something like this has never happened to her. She can hear him mumbling about how she was some plushie-chan. Excuse me Mr. Can you please let me go? She says, red face when getting a feel of his body. What? Why would I let such a beautiful girl out of my arms? A smirk playing on his lips. But I am a boy. Trying to lie to make her way out of this position. Yay, that might work on some bandits but it will not work on me. So tell me, did you come back to try and spy on me again? He says, giving her a foxy smirk. This causes her to go wide-eyed before making ice senbon and jamming them in his chest and jumping back, getting in a position with more senbon in her hand. Ow, that hurt. Pulling the senbon out of his hand, he then floats up. You know you should give your name before stabbing someone. Unbothered by the fact that he had just pulled senbon out of his chest. My name is Haku. She is a little surprised at how he just pulled those out of his chest. Well Haku-chan, my name is Naruto Uzumaki but you can call me Naruto-kun. Giving her a charming smile makes her blush a bit. On a serious note, you are a Yuki clan member who can use ice release. Haku just nodded, a little shocked at how he knew that because not many people were aware of that. Yes, I am, and I am the last of my clan. She then goes to tell him about how her clan was killed by the civil war in Kiri and how her own dad tried to kill her and her mother but she got away. Naruto can sympathize with her and feels a sort of kinship with her. He then goes to tell her about his life and how they are kind of similar. They then spend another hour just talking and telling each other's funny story until Naruto drops a bomb on her. Haku-chan, I believe you are not the last member of your clan. My daughter I believe has the ice release. She is next to him in an instant with hope in her eyes at maybe finding some family. Do you really mean it, Naruto-kun? How can you be sure? Well, when she unlocked her chakra the area got a little colder and her chakra also feels a little similar to yours because they both have that cold feeling to it. Haku shed a couple tears because the same thing happened to her. I don't believe this. I always thought I was the only one left, but she is a part of my clan. After this little mission is over, can I meet her? Haku asked, giving Naruto the puppy dog eyes with tears and a quivering lip almost as good as his daughter. Okay, but you just have to try not to die, and tell Zabuza to hurry up because I want to test his blade against one of the 7 and see how good I am with my blade. Okay Naruto-kun, just be careful when you fight him, he is really strong. Naruto smirked at her, which unnerved her a bit. Oh Haku-chan, I thank you for worrying about me so much. Maybe I should give you a reward. He trails a finger up her side and trails a hand to her chest, but Haku backs up red-faced and panting. Naruto-kun, we should not do that. I have to go. She then runs off with the basket of herbs and a chuckle can be heard from Naruto. Well, let's get up and get going before they send a watch party after me. Taking off in a bolt of lightning, he makes his way to town for a gift to apologize to Anko and Rukia. Dazana's house. I swear when he gets back here I am going to feed him to my snakes. Anko could be seen pacing back. Not to mention I didn't get my spankings. Rukia could be seen pacing with Anko as well. When Papa gets back here he is going to get introduced to my fist. She says, bumping her fist together. Hello guys, I am back. Did you miss me? Only to have to dodge snakes and punches from his daughter. Hey, what is going on here? Dodging an attack, he grabs both of them in a hug and they start to sniffle a little bit and he hugs them tighter. Look, I got you guys some gifts to make it up to you. Pulling out the gifts, they are both shocked at what they see. For Rukia it is a bunny onesie suit and for Anko it is a black trench coat with purple flames at the bottom. They both jump and give him kisses on the cheek. They both say thank you to him but are interrupted when Sakura comes over to Naruto a little nervously. Naruto, can we go talk somewhere please? She asked hesitantly. Sure, we can bubblegum. He rubs her hair, messing it up, making a tick mark appear on his head. They walk upstairs but not before giving Rukia a kiss on the head and Anko a kiss on the lips and a slap to the ass. The two go into Sakura's room and Naruto can't help but try to tease her about it. Wow, Sakura-chan, if you wanted to get me in your room by yourself all you had to do was ask, he says in a sexy tone, causing her to turn the color of her hair and inner Sakura to pass out with a nosebleed at all the things she just pictured. No, I just wanted to say get some things off my chest, you know. She says, waving her hands and face still red. Well, there is not much to get off your chest so we won't have a problem. Causing a tick mark to appear on her head. Naruto Baka, can you just listen to me? She yells, trying not to hit him. He laughs at her and then just smiles and motions her to go on ahead. I just want to say that I am sorry for having treated you the way I did and always being mean to you and hitting you for no reason. My eyes have been opened to the world a little bit at how the ninja world and how people are now. I realize Sasuke-kun, no, Sasuke isn't the person I thought he was. I want to be a better ninja in person and I want to know if you can help me with that, she says to Naruto with a straight face. Naruto can only stand there with a stoic face and unmoving posture, unnerving her a little. He then smiles at her and she gives him a little smile back. "Don't worry Sakura, I forgive you, but I can't feel the same way about you the way I used to. But it is obvious you don't have a strong male in your life, so I will be that for you. You can now call me Big Brother or Oni-chan." For Sakura's part, she can't help but let out how this has gone. "Okay big bro, and will you help me with training?" Naruto wraps her in a bear hug, picking her up. "Of course I will. When I am done with you, Tsunade Senju will be nothing compared to you." She hugs him back, feeling relieved and happy at how this planned out. Naruto then moves his hands down to her butt, giving a squeeze, making her go red in the face. "Wow Sakura, no wonder your chest is flat, everything is going down to your ass." Sakura is red with anger and embarrassment at this. "Get your hands off me, pervy big brother." She hits him in the head and huffs and walks off. Damn, she hits as hard as ever. "This is gonna be a fun week. I'll run her in the ground for all those hits." He gives an evil chuckle that goes through all of the house, making everyone shudder, even Kasumi, who is in the seal watching all this. That's the end guys. If you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a comment. This is Chaos Shinobi signing off.